Let's talk about embodiment. Now that you know the specific traits, characteristics, and experiences that your ideal influence target must have, you can embody some of those. That makes them more influenceable because they're just like you. They really identify with you and they reward you by being more trusting.
Embodiment is helpful in many cases, and in some extreme situations, it's actually essential. For some people, especially those who have strong views and live in their own bubbles, the only way to influence them is to actually be just like them, love what they love, and hate what they hate. Now, the key here is, although this sounds easy, you don't start with a blank slate. No one ever does. You have your own biases, opinions, judgments, and those will get in the way. If the things that you love or hate are not 100% aligned with what you're showing, you're going to end up either doubting or self-sabotaging yourself, possibly both. For example, if you're selling to rich people, but deep down you don't believe rich people are good, they don't deserve the money, they surely did something bad, etc., then you're not going to be able to keep that frame, and you're going to feel like a hypocrite. You have to deal with your own biases. Likewise, something I see a lot is cultural differences in corporations. If a company acquires another one with a different culture, and the manager is managing people that don't share the same values, it's a growing experience. If you're a hardworking manager that has to manage reports that don't believe in hard work, that are very careful, hesitant, either you change your beliefs or they do, but you won't be able to identify with them and your influence will never be authentic. If this is done right, you'll become magnetic to your ideal target and repulsive to everybody else. This is fine. You're going to share deeply the worries, the hopes, the dreams of the person that you want to influence and really not care about anybody else at all. This is a sign of success. One interesting thing here is that besides the actual traits, you can also embody some key experiences in common with the other person. If you've been through something similar to what they have, then it's much easier to influence them. Simple examples. Football players are going to respect the coach much more if they've been a player themselves than if not, because they get it. They've been through the same rituals, the same graduation, the same pains, and have similar war stories. Another that you see frequently in Wall Street is that if a fund manager is managing their traders, having been a trader themselves, especially with similar investments, will confer upon them a much higher degree of authority, because the trader knows, oh, the guy that's managing me has done this himself. He's been through the same. If they don't share that experience, it's much harder for them to influence that person. So when it comes to embodying similar traits and experiences to your target, what are some do's and don'ts? Do have the courage to truly embody the traits of the person. Sometimes this is almost an exercise in acting. Can you go deep enough and put yourself in the person's shoes and know what they've been through? If so, you'll be able to influence them to a much higher degree. Don'ts. Do not do this with people that you're sure that you're not going to gel with. Look, you can change your characteristics and your likes to best identify with someone that shares something in common. But if the person is a polar opposite and you have to influence them, you're probably in the wrong situation, or it's something exceptional. If you try to shape yourself to identify with somebody who is diametrically opposite from you, you're just going to fail or self-sabotage hard.
So as we just saw, really embodying some of the characteristics and experiences of your ideal influence target makes life easier for you because they identify with you. They know that you've been through the same, that you think just like them, and that you are equal to them, which in turn makes them more influenceable. If possible, make use of this technique.